Hey folks, welcome back to this Let's Play of Imperiums Greek Wars Carthage versus Rome DLC. Before I actually recorded this episode last night, I kind of went through and played a little bit of another campaign and just kind of tried to remind myself of the game mechanics. It's been a little while since I played Imperiums, I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've played it since the Alexander DLC. So yeah, one thing that I have realised is I do need to get myself some more food. Food is really low, and this is my fault because I've not actually gone out and built any farms. So I'm going to go and find where I need to put some farms up. Probably around Alexandria is going to be a good idea. And as soon as I've got the money, I'm going to start. I'm going to start building some more settlers because I think I need to build up my kingdom in a big way. So we do have some farms. You'll see. To go into the food here, and you'll see that we're. Last turn we had 20, so yeah, we're actually you always lose a little bit through spoilage, and everything else that you have kind of eats it too, including your cities. And what I like about this game is the population actually directly influences how much is being eaten. You know, like not in Civ, you know, like okay, this one's eating 5 food or whatever. It's a little bit more complex than that, I think. Okay, at least it goes into decimal places. Anyway, so what I want to be doing is kind of building up as much, as much infrastructure as I can for the start of the game. I don't really want to be at war with anyone if I can help it. Now that doesn't mean that we can't go and attack some cities, maybe take some slaves. We've actually hit the ideal slave ratio already. This means that we could potentially sell a few slaves off and probably get some gold for them. So I am going backwards in gold a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is, if we hit F3 and go into the political map, let's just try and find someone that we'd like to trade with, for example Carthage, and we'll go to trade. Now at the moment we're selling coal in return for 1 gold. Let's see if we can set up something else as well. We can offer them slaves. So let's offer them a slave, and let's see if they'll take 3 gold for it. This is going to be, they're probably not going to do this, it's kind of a lot, but it's possible. Now Carthage should have a decent amount of gold. I know this because I've been playing Carthage in another campaign and they've got really, really good gold. I don't know if I want to do this trade for 10 turns. So 20. I think I'm going to leave it for 10 just because I don't know how many slaves I'm going to be getting. So I don't want to be trading away all my slaves because that will start causing us problems. Let's see if they'll take 3 gold. And then we'll see what happens. Like the more we trade with Carthage, the more they're going to like us. Okay. So we've got to settle here. Let's get this guy out here and we're going to start building at some farms. So fields, sorry. Yeah, this first level is a field, not a farm. Ankos here is an emissary. Let's get him... I'm just going to get him exploring. He's going to go and visit some of these places. We can actually expend some of our influence if we want to... we can slander people and praise. But at the moment, let's just get this guy exploring. Okay, we've got some peltasts up here now. Okay, who are these guys? Cappadocia. Cappadocia, we are at peace with them. They like us. That's interesting. Let's see if we can get some trade going with those guys as well. The more trade we can get, the better. This really is a Forex game where you can lean very, very heavily into the trading side of things. Okay. Let's see if we can get some food off them, just temporarily. See if they'll give us a couple of food, and we'll offer them. Perhaps I'll offer them one stone, and see if they'll go with that. Now I'm expecting once I've got enough food up or enough fields up, I won't need to be trading for food after that. But we'll see. Trade, by the way, can become an absolute lifesaver in this. I remember in one of my other games where I was actually under attack by another nation, and they'd come over and they'd taken out one of my cities that was producing the most food, and I ended up having to trade from my neighbours, and it really kept me going. So this is the sort of thing that I really like to see in 4X games. Meaningful mechanics, not just kind of like trade and diplomacy in there just so it kind of looks like you've got something that you can do there. It actually oops. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I didn't take a lot of gold. Yeah, you got to be a little bit careful, by the way, if you're moving with your armies into lands that you're not at war with. Sometimes you can actually it will try to influence them, so you got to be a little bit careful of that. yeah, I like meaningful game mechanics, and I like them when they're there for more than just looks. And I mean, I don't mean to sort of disparage other 4X games for saying that they're just surface level. I don't necessarily mean that. What I mean is that I think a lot of games kind of, oh, it's a 4X game, so we've got to have espionage and we've got to have diplomacy, and we, you know, and they just kind of put a cursory attempt at it without really tying it into the underlying game mechanics in a big way. And you know, I don't really like that. By the way, if you don't like watching all of these armies moving around, you can just hit enter. Like, you can press space to skip the current movement, or you can hit enter, and that will just skip that whole nation entirely. Like we can. I mean, we're starting to get eyes on a lot of these people now, presumably because we've got pacts with them. Just hit enter. Okay. All right. So here's one of the new features in this game. This is a mandatory objective, and I think this is here. I think to kind of ensure that the player kind of plays his part in the overall, you know, the great game that's being played out in these historical scenarios. It kind of stops you from just sort of sitting there and just turtling up and playing it like, you know, a sort of peaceful city builder game. I guess you can probably do that. I do wonder if that's why they've added these in. You can turn these off, by the way, if you don't like this, and a lot of people really don't like pressure in games. I know that. So these are entirely optional. I know it says mandatory. What I mean is you can turn the mandatory objectives off in the options if you like. I think that's a wonderful decision. I like this kind of stuff. Okay, we've got to commit to complete. The longer you wait, the less time you have to complete it. The current penalty for postponing the decision is 0 turns. Okay, we've got 5 turns left to choose. So what we're going to do, we're going to build up these key cities, build more warriors, refineries, resource production. We can take Cyprus, and as well as the city of Side, or sphere of influence. We can do this by strengthening our relations with the minor factions in the Eastern Mediterranean. Now, and these are the turns that you've got to do it. We are closest to completing this key cities thing. So we've got to increase the size of these cities here. These 4 cities, Bernice, Jerusalem, Pelusium and Tarsus. So let's do that. I'm going to go for this. Now the reward is going to be 20 gold, 20 influence. Morale in some cities might increase. And if you fail it, then you lose morale in some cities. This is what I like about this game, right? It kind of it gives you this sort of stick, I guess. It's like a stick, but the penalty for failing it is not that bad, and also you get a nice carrot, you know, to sort of encourage you to do it. So even though it's mandatory, you know, if you fail it, you're not going to end the game. Okay, Epirus is offering us a gift: food, stone, wood, and gold. 5 turns. I'm going to say yes to that. Why not? Now, okay, I asked for a gold. Oh no, they're offering us 1 gold for a slave, for 10 slaves. For 10 turns. I think I'm just going to drop this down to 7 because I know that I've definitely got 7 spare before we go below our ratio. Oh no, slave to citizen ratio is 20%. Ah, okay, I'm being dumb. So I looked at the number of slaves and I was mistaking that for the percentage. Yeah, we don't want to trade away slaves yet. Okay, I'm just going to cancel this. I'm going to cancel this. We'll make another one later. We're going to trade food. Okay, they're going to trade 1 food for 1 stone. Don't know if that's really that good. I'll do it anyway, just so we can build up our relations. Okay, the floodwater of the Nilus River finally receded. It's time to check the damage. Fields and farms in the flooded area have been devastated, but the land is dry again and the recultivation work can start. I like this, right? This is really, really cool. It kind of gives you some other things to think about. So I guess this must be here. Is this the Nile? Yeah, here we go. The Nile River. So, or Nilus, sorry. So yeah, this was this area and it was all flooded, if you remember. So we need to actually rebuild our fields, and that's something that we can do with a settler once we've got them out. Okay, so we've actually built Alexandria. Look, we can actually build all around this. These are the this is the area where we can actually build civic, you know, improvements in. So what we want to do is try and I want to just get fields up in all of these if I can. Let's get one here. By the way, it will cost something. I think it's 0.5 gold every time you do that. So you do. It's not like a no-brainer that you just go around. You've got to be a little bit careful to make sure you don't overspend. Go and jump into here. But yeah, it is really, really important to get as much food as possible. Now, we've actually gone up in food because I think we're trading for some now. Okay, Orgila is part of the Libyans. Yeah, let's move into this woodland. So we've got a terrain defense bonus. And I'm going to actually just jump around here just to see if we can... Yeah, I want to explore the land around that city before we attack it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attack it and see if I can take some slaves. Okay, Tarsus. We've got Peltas here. Okay, that's an influence move. I don't want to do that. Yeah, look. Just watch for that fist icon. So yeah, look, this is actually part of the Seleucus territory. Now we want to try and influence this back because look, we've got you'll see here we've got a coal mine. Oh no, this is the Antigonids. Interesting. Let me just check out my relationships with them. I'm pretty sure I signed a treaty with them, didn't I? Yeah, we've got a peace treaty with them. Yeah, taking these would be pretty cool. Like I'd like to take that if I can, but I don't know if it's worth going to war over. And also Tarsus is one of these cities that I've got to upgrade because of my objectives. So let's just go to the... There we go. Look, key cities. Yeah, it is Tarsus. Let's not go to war with these guys yet. Let's build up Tarsus as much as we can. If you can see in this tooltip, what I'm looking at here is this resource usage. So, and then it gives you what the yields are around the actual city that it's drawing from too. We're actually using... This city's actually using a fair amount of resources. So what we want to do is we want to try and develop it as much as we can. Now you can chop down trees, right? If you chop down these forests, you will get a big bonus of wood. However, you won't get the passive, the sort of passive increase that you get. So again, be a little bit careful with deforestation, because if you do it too much, you're going to end up with no wood, and you need wood to build even the most basic of troops. So that's something that caught me unawares the first few times I played Imperiums. I didn't read the instructions quite carefully enough, and I deforested everything, built up this fantastic force, got my ass kicked in warfare, and then I found out later that, oh, yeah, I can't build any more troops because nobody likes me enough to trade me any wood. So you really have to be very, very careful with what you do. Looks like the Romans are being attacked here. The Samnites. On the Italian peninsula. Yeah, I think we're friends with Nabatea. They actually look like they've got quite a lot of forces. Another thing that I really think we should be doing as Ptolemaic Egypt is we should be building up a navy. I'm at least from playing other games set in this era, I remember that. Ptolemaic Egypt really needed that naval power. I think it's supposed to be played in that way. Now, how that translates over to this 4X game, I don't know, but I expect it's probably still important. Okay, so we've researched this technology here, astrology. So that gives us goldsmith and monarchy. Goldsmith is great. This is an improvement we can build in our cities that increases the amount of gold that we get. I'm going to go for this one next, granary. Granary is really expensive, by the way, but it decreases the amount of food wasted each turn. So it means that we can kind of live with less farms, and that's going to be a good thing later on. Let's just put it somewhere between the two, so 4. Okay, we've got the monarchy government that we can move into if we want. We can have a look at that in a little while. By the way, there's also these state decisions. So these are kind of like, these are things that you can turn on. Decisions that you can turn on that actually give you certain things. So for example, we can create a spy network in foreign nations. We can build certain things. We can organize games. They all have little... Yeah, games increase happiness while also increasing the usage of other resources. So, yeah, it's going to cost a bunch of resources, but you can actually use these for certain things. Now, what I want to do is, while I've got the money, I want to actually build another settler. So, just jump into the cities. Go to press. We can press Control Space, which will zoom through the cities. Yeah, okay. Tanis can build a settler, so I'm going to build another settler here. There we go, settler. So this, we're going to build a settler up, and we're going to really push out on building farms, because there's no reason why we can't be a bit of a breadbasket for the rest of the world if we really, kind of push for it. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get these guys in here. I don't think we can really move much further. Let's see if we can uncover some more of Nabatea here. You don't have to move them one hex at a time, by the way, but I'm just trying to take it slowly, just see what I can see. Nabatea might be a good conquest for us early on. Okay, Alexandria. Is that temple connected by a road? Okay, so I forget which button. I think it's F7. There we go. If you hit F7, this gives you more information about the tile that you're clicking on. So this actually costs gold, look, to keep going. We just click on here, this tooltip. It tells you what the temple does. Okay, this is just some fluff. I don't remember what this actually does. Oh, this is just a terrain property, you know, for combat purposes. So it tells you, you know, this is basically just telling you what bonuses you'll get, basically defense bonuses, attack penalties, that kind of thing. I'm trying to remember what the temple does. Temple is a special building that increases population growth in the cities located within a 3-tile range. That's really good. 1, 2, 3. So it's not going to affect this one, but it's going to affect 1, 2. Oh yeah, you can see because of the blue. This game's so good. Like, the UI in this game is really, really good, man. Like I wasn't sure at first, but the more I played it, the more I realised it. You know, look at this. There's tooltips for pretty much everything, and I do think this is a game that really needs tooltips because it is a complex game. But you know, like there are multiple ways to get into certain screens. Like, you know, you can hit F2 and then go through the foreign relations, for example, to get into the political map. Or there's a hotkey for it. Yeah, you can click on a lot of stuff and it takes you into the Imperiums library, because you know, anything that's underlined will have an Imperiums library entry. Yeah, I'm liking it. I think it's quite easy to see what's going on in this. These are a little small for me, but I do wonder if this is partly to do with the fact that one, I've got kind of crappy eyesight, and two, I'm playing on 1440, so I shouldn't really blame a UI designer for that. That's probably my fault. Let's go and build some more farms over in Alexandria here, and we'll get the. Can we not build one here? Oh, we got insufficient resources, of course. So we'll have to wait till next turn. Yeah, I'm just going to continue exploring with this nomad here. Let's just leave that guy there, and then we'll roll the turn on. Now, hopefully, I left myself with enough, just enough gold to make up for any costs. I probably should have checked before I rolled the turn on. We'll soon know if we go into the red. Okay, this is Massilia. Massilia would be a good person to trade with. If I remember right, they were a Greek colony that were set up to trade in Europe, you know, in Europe essentially, and kind of, you know, broke off on their own. But they're Hellenites, so we are also Hellenites. I think that we should be trying to make trade with them if we can. Samnites and Romans are fighting here around Roma. I don't know a whole lot about the history of this period. I got to be honest with you. At least from the games that I played in this period, then Samnites and the Romans fought a lot. Yeah, look at this. Some kind of brutal battles going on here. Rome also seemed to have quite a lot of boats at the start of the game too. Now, one of the ways that the game seems to simulate historical accuracy to some extent with regards to strength is that the historical scenarios will set certain factions to be at certain different types of AI level. Okay, so I think the Romans are set to, you know, like a really strong AI. So even though they're small, they're going to be able to pump out a lot of units. Okay, the Seleucids have declared war on us. Interesting. Wow, we're going to have to deal with this. So this is an opportunity. Epirus, they want peace. Trade route access. Shame I didn't get the defense pact in before. Okay, we've met the Illyrians. This is a city-state with a bad reputation. Epirus, peace. Okay. And we can appoint a new emissary. I'm not going to do that. I want the money first. So let's get this field up. And we're going to have to start building military units now. because we are at war, and we just go back to here. So the Seleucids, we have got Babylonia and Nabatea between us. Seleucids might be making a play for here. Tarsus, is it? Now we do have one unit here. I do wonder. Yeah, Seleucids are here. Look, okay, they're going to be coming for Tarsus. Now we did make this has made this game kind of interesting because we did actually have an objective, a mandatory objective to to build up this place. So I think what we're going to have to do, let's get a stockade up. Cities receives a defensive bonus, and we're going to have to start sending some troops up. Let's get this guy up this way, and we're going to start moving up towards the Seleucid Empire. See if we can't start working towards peace. We are strong. Are we stronger than the Seleucids though? Don't know. I think probably not. By the way, so when you attack, you will lose soldiers, and it takes quite a long time to bring them back. To actually get them back into a state. Now, this would be good for taking more slaves. But the problem is, I think now I'm at war, I really want to be a bit more careful. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to leave one of these armies around here just to defend on this side of my empire. I think I'm probably okay. Carthage seems to be like okay with us now. They're much bigger than us. Yeah, they're by the way, Carthage are the strongest nation at the start of this game by a long way. I think what I'm going to do. I wonder if we can get Carthage to attack Seleucids. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think these... Yeah, these guys don't... Oh, mind you, they are admiring. They do like us. Try and go for a map exchange. See if they'll accept that. No. Almost 0. Yeah, they're not going to do it yet. I think what I need is gold at the moment. Gold is the most important thing I'm going to need when we're at war. I forget who it was who said, the sinews of war are infinite money, or bottomless coffers. So yeah, we are going to need lots of gold if we're going to build up military units. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this unit here. Now this is just a peltast. Oh, it's peltast. Okay, let's get these peltasts, and I'm going to actually move them. It's going to take a little while, but let's move them up towards this direction. Now, I'm going to hope that the Seleucids don't try and pull a fast one and try and bring anything, by boat over this side. By the way, the AI in Imperiums will do that. I've had it before where my empire was... I was attacking into an empire, and my opponent was... Let's say that my opponent was here, and my empire was here. There were some mountains here, so the only way you could get through was through this narrow kind of coastal area, which is very much how Mediterranean, like for example Greece is very much like that, right? And so I moved my armies through and started attacking, and the enemy dropped. It came down, did a naval landing right here in this area where it was like the only way that you could get through, and then dropped some armies on and cut me off. I've never seen an AI do that in a game, by the way. Like, it does it in Shadow Empire as well, but I haven't. That's the only game I've ever played where the AI was able to tell in an area exactly the best place to land its troops so that it could cut me off. That's like really good AI in my opinion. And it's not like good AI at the expense of the rest of the AI not being good. It is just really, really solid. Now, people who are watching who play this more might be able to say, well, maybe the AI is good here, but it's not so good here. Please let me know. I want to know what you think of the AI, because my experiences of it so far is that it's really good. Okay, we need 20. I want to build some hoplites, and we need 20 gold to get hoplites up. I do wonder if we can try to trade some more of our resources, maybe some knowledge or influence. We're actually starting to get food now as well, because we're starting to build up, starting to build up our food resources. So let's see if we can trade with someone else who's friendly with us. Carthage is at peace. Hellenic... yeah, okay. So we could actually talk to the Greeks. the Helens, and just see if they are... Yeah, they're admiring as well. Let's see if we can get some kind of gold, you know, gold income from them. Okay, they've got slaves. Slaves might actually be quite useful to just to bring our slave ratio up. Let's see if they've got excess slaves. Let's see if we can get some slaves off them. Send them some coal. They want iron as well. Now, iron I don't have a lot of. Wood I can probably send a little. Let's see if they'll do 3 slaves for 2 of our resources. No, maybe I'll just do it for 10. We can always renegotiate it later. We can also offer them an influence as well. Oh no, they've already got lots of influence. Okay, let's just leave it at that. See what they say. Just getting, I mean, honestly, just getting some friends at this point would be good. Now, I remember... like, Seleucids. I wonder if we can get the Antigonids to like us a little bit more. What do you reckon? That might be wise, eh? Because then we've actually got someone else, you know, if we can eventually drag them into a war. Let's send them a gift. They want gold, coal and iron. Let's send them some coal. Oop, not all of them. That's a bit too much. Let's send them 5 turns of coal. We're gonna be going backwards in coal, by the way, but I think this will be you know, sending them a gift, make them happy. And the Antigonids, we don't want to go to war with them yet. I think we're going to have to deal with the Seleucids first. Let's just hope no one else attacks us. But if we can get ourselves some powerful allies, that'll make that whole thing a little bit less appealing to our, you know, to our neighbours who might be sort of greedily eyeing up our assets. Yeah, Massilia. I must remember to talk to those guys as well. See, this is one of the things that's great about this game is that you can play it as a straight 4x where, you know, you just start out with kind of nothing and just build it up. Build your empire up, you know, just from a few cities. You can actually build up just from a settler, you know, and just have nothing. The amount of options that are in the game are absolutely amazing. It's on a level with something like Distant Worlds for having, you know, really great game setup options that really change the game. But yeah, so it's a fantastic, just straight 4x game if you just want to play it as a sort of historical 4x game set in the kind of ancient classical era. However, if you the historical settings really plunge you in at the deep end with a very complex diplomatic situation, you know, a geopolitical situation that's already well developed. And, you know, certain empires are sort of ready to go to war. So some of them aren't. You've got smaller empires that are, you know, in territory size very small, like Sparta, for example, but still very strong. It's a really, really good game, this. It's Kube Games have created a fantastic game engine. I've got to tell you, it's really, really a very, very clever game engine that they've made. And it's very versatile. And people are making I think there's a fantasy mod. I think Miyabi SFG, the Japanese guy, who's he kind of hangs out at eXplore a little bit, and he, very nice chap, but he's really into fantasy stuff, and I'm pretty sure that he's made a fantasy mod for this game. So I don't know how many fantasy mechanics it's got. I think it might be more of a graphical overhaul if I remember right. But anyway, I mean, that's really cool. Okay, they rejected this trade. They didn't like it. I wonder if we can. Yeah, they're not going to allow... Yeah, they just rejected it outright. Okay. The Illyrians are offering peace. Yeah, I don't want to be at war with anyone, honestly, unless I need to be. The Antigonids have accepted the gift. That's unsurprising. Okay, these guys want food from us, and they're offering stone, knowledge, and influence. 3 food's a lot, though. However, I reckon I can trade those. I can transform those stone into more food. So let's do this. Okay, it's saying we can appoint a new emissary. I don't want to do that. I need to save my money. Let's see if we can transform those stone that we're getting. We're going to be getting much more stone now. Let's see who we can trade with. Lots and lots of trading and diplomatic wranglings going on in this game. I think it's fantastic. Okay, so let's see if we can get. We'll try another trade with these guys. So we want slaves from them actually. If we can get slaves, let's see if they'll give us 2 slaves, and they want coal, gold, and wood. Gold I can't afford. Let's try just trading them those stone, and then we'll throw them some wood in. And now, if they, by the way, if they don't like the trade duration, they'll just say, okay, we don't like the duration, but they'll offer us a reduced duration. Yeah, let's see what happens there. I don't think it hurts you to make these trade offers every turn. At least I don't think so. Let's see if the Antigonids will trade with us now. No, they're not liking it. Let's just wait a little time. By the way, this game has a really, really good way of doing joint wars. It's got really, really complex mechanics for how they... Well, not complex, but it's got interesting mechanics. Like if you go to war with someone and say you're going to do a joint military campaign, you set targets, and then you have to make those targets. And if you don't make any effort, they'll just back out and they'll just be like, oh, well, you know, you're not helping. So they'll not like you and they'll end the alliance. It's really, really cool. Like you actually have to make progress in your war that you're declaring on someone. You know, in the war that you've declared on someone, otherwise your allies will just sort of like start dropping off. So cool that is. Again, something you don't really see in other 4X games. I think Remnants of the Precursors has got some similar kind of, you know, if you don't attack them, then they'll eventually get fed up. But yeah, most 4X games don't really enforce that actually. Let's go to Massalia. That's who I was wanting to talk to. Let's see if we can get trade route access. These guys will probably... I reckon these guys will say yes, you know, if I ask for trade routes. Let's see what they say. Okay, right. We do need to make some money. Okay, these are hoplites at Alexandria. Do I want to move these guys? Oh, I don't know. Maybe move... I don't know, because I want to see what the Seleucus is going to send at me. You might find that they've declared war, but they're not actually going to send anything at me. I hope not, because that would be kind of suck. Either way, we should definitely continue on building up more. Hold on, I'm going to put a little bit of birth rate in as well, just a little bit, so we are getting some more growth. Yeah, let's get more of these up. These fields in around Alexandria. Right, you are going to... Tarsus, I think, is still building... Yeah, he's still building that stockade, so... I'm just going to get them to fortify on Tarsus here. Now, is this joint by road? No, it's not. So we probably want Norcratis here. Oh, we've got to build a bridge. Instead, then let's get some more fields up. I think that's probably more important for this in the short term. Honestly, while we're still building all these fields, we're probably not going to get to the 20 gold we need for another hoplite unit. So I've got to kind of think about how I'm going to do this. Okay, folks. After I've just gone through the early turn stuff, I'm going to end the turn here, I think. It'll be interesting to see if some of these trades that I put forward actually went through or not. Yeah, this is the Etruscans and the Roman Republic. The Roman Republic are really under attack, look. Now, I think because of the difficulty setting that they're set on, they'll probably be okay. It would be kind of disappointing if the Romans just died off really early. However, you know, it's a sandbox game, and if it did happen, I wouldn't be that bothered, really. You know, if you want to see the Romans do well, maybe you've got to support them. Also, those varying difficulty settings for each of the different empires, you can actually change at the start of the game. So if you want to have a weak Rome at the start, or if you want to make Carthage a lot weaker, you can do. Like I say, even the historical scenarios are really highly customizable. Like I said, this is a wonderful sandbox game. I'm just going to skip through these because I don't want the video to be too long. Okay, we're just doing some movement of our own. Okay, yeah, these guys don't want us to trade with us like this, so they obviously don't need what we're offering. Okay, Massalia doesn't want to, yeah, doesn't want to do that either. They're saying it's too far away. Fair enough. Okay, Nabatea are they're lobbying for his nation. Oops. Next message. Okay, Ancus was welcomed in Antioch. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the series so far. I'm actually really getting into this game now. This is really, really cool. I probably had a bit of a slow start because I was being a bit, you know, I should have been a bit smarter about getting out farms early. But we're looking all right on food, I'd say. Mind you, it's kind of going back down. I do need to get some slaves up as well. But this is something we can figure out next turn. Okay, guys, take care. I'll see you next time.